If you were to summarize in one word the core value of a Mason, a foundational word upon which the entire idea of Freemasonry is built, what would it be? From our very beginning, there's a thread woven through the very fabric of every lodge and its members. It affects the titles we give one another, promotes camaraderie, accountability, and is the cornerstone on which our knowledge is built. That word, brotherhood. Brotherhood, a feeling of friendship, support, and understanding between men. But brother Masons have even deeper roots to grow by. At the lodge, we are on the same level, similar values, and searching for deeper meaning in life. True brothers by other mothers, helping each other become better than they could possibly become alone. Brother Masons had been meeting before 1864, but the first mention found in any effort to start a lodge in Prescott was in a letter written by Alexander Abel, Very Worshipful Grand Secretary of the Grand Lodge of California, dated July 23, 1864. This was the reply to a letter from then Mayor of Prescott, Brother John Howard, and to ensure delivery, the letter had to be addressed directly to Fort Whipple and summarize the willingness to do everything in his power to help the brethren in Prescott form a lodge. The first recorded meetings are by Lieutenant Charles Curtis in 1864 at the house of Governor John Goodwin. That first meeting was in the governor's home. That's now the log building that still stands at Charlotte Hall Museum downtown. Brother Goodwin presided, and after satisfying themselves that all present were Master Masons, it was resolved to apply to the Grand Lodge of California for a dispensation to open a lodge in Prescott. John Alsap was chosen as the first master of the lodge, with 9 total members signing the petition. We still have those first minutes in Lieutenant Curtis's own handwriting as part of the archives here today. It was a team of brothers that started the first lodge, costing some their very lives. Before the request could be filed, the nearest active lodge had to recommend the new formation. The only difficulty was that Santa Fe, New Mexico was the closest lodge to Prescott. This was without the assistance of trains or planes. Horseback was the fastest form of transportation in 1864. So Brother Joseph Lennon agreed to ride and procure their endorsement. Almost a year later, their endorsement request was complete. Governor John Goodwin was chosen to present the petition to the Grand Master of California that was granted on April 23, 1865. The work of the lodge was duly opened 3 months later on July 23rd, under dispensation from the Grand Lodge of California. That dedication and brotherly love was so strong upon their 25th anniversary, they had never missed even one official meeting for the first 25 years. The Civil War caused great hardship on the first brothers of the lodge. Currency was difficult and rarely reliable, so the first lodge dues were paid in gold and silver coins, or in gold dust in 1866. That same year, a request was made of the Grand Lodge of California to change our name to the Arizona Lodge and transform the chapter from California to Arizona. Brother Joseph Walker presented the official chapter from San Francisco. Aztlan is the legendary home of the Aztec peoples, so our name change was denied, but the chapter was officially granted to Arizona in July 1867. From that time forward, we have officially been named Aztlan Lodge number 177. Within 15 years, there would be a total of 5 lodges with an official membership of 274 in the territory of Arizona. Aztlan was making an impact, even back then. At the very beginnings, Aztlan Lodge was built upon the idea of brotherhood and a design to build Masonic fellowship in the pioneer town of Prescott. Morris Goldwater was the uncle of Arizona's most famous mid-century statesman, Barry Goldwater. As the lodge celebrated its 25th anniversary on June 23, 1891, Morris reminisced of the determination and brotherly fortitude it took to start the very first lodge in Prescott. Brother Morris was Prescott's mayor for some 20 years, served as a Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Arizona, and the founder of Goldwater and Brothers Mercantile on Cortez Street with brothers Henry and Barron. At the turn of the century, this was a beautiful multi-story retail shop dedicated to the citizens of Prescott, but Morris was a brother first, and he encouraged our Aztlan Lodge to meet on the second floor of the Goldwater Mercantile for decades, from 1879 until the first temple was built on Cortez Street. In the early days of horseback, territorial Indians, and the ravages of the Civil War, the brothers needed more than fortitude. They needed each other. In fact, Indians killed the first Mason to be buried in the Prescott Masonic Cemetery in 1867. Brothers have been celebrating the lives of fellow Masons ever since, thanks to the kind gift of land offered by then-Governor McCormick. Bars, mercantiles, and Masonic meetings were synonymous during the first few decades. Brothers met for years above Dinah's Saloon, now the Hotel St. Michael. Masons and cornerstones are synonymous, but we just didn't have a place to call our own until 1907. The first Masonic temple was built on Cortez Street and was so well built it still stands there today. This one building made it possible for the next generation of brothers to tie the fraternity to something deeper and stronger that keeps our brotherhood alive to this day. Brothers had to encourage each other and rally the building of one of the largest structures in Prescott and the tallest lodge in the territory to that date. It may not seem like much by today's standard, but in 1901, a total sum of $5,000 was raised to purchase the Cortez land, and it would be 6 years before enough monies could be gathered to start construction that cost an astronomical sum of $38,000 in that day. A quote from the Prescott Courier on October 21st, 1907. Long before the 4 p.m. hour set for the laying of the cornerstone, the streets in the vicinity were thronged with people there to witness an event not only important to Masonic annals, but in the very history of the city of Prescott itself. End quote. Within the cornerstone there still stands a place, a tin box containing the Holy Bible, square and compasses, 3 pictures of Prescott showing the 3 Masonic halls, a picture of the Elks Building, a copy of the Great Register of Yavapai County, a copy of the Prescott Morning Courier, a full set of lodge planks, roster, 1 penny, a commemorative cross, a copy of the bylaws and history of the Aztlan Lodge, a picture of the O'Neill Monument, a small copper bar from Jerome, and various pictures of other Prescott buildings tied to the Masons. After the cornerstone was laid and much Masonic pomp and circumstance, the 4-story building was occupied. This was a huge building by Arizona Territory standards, but the original layout was similar to that we have today on Willow Creek. The first floor was leased to a commercial trust company. The second floor had commercial offices with doctors' and nurses' offices and several Prescott attorneys. It even had an X-ray lab at one point. Brother Masons met on the 3rd floor with a large parlor room and banquet hall. The 4th floor was reserved for the Knights Templar Armory, committee rooms, and, wait for it, an organ gallery for the doctors downstairs. We met at the temple for almost 75 years. Brothers had to meet with fortitude and determination and strength to make it up the stairs to the top meeting rooms. Without an elevator, this became increasingly difficult as the members had to be carried up to meetings as they became older. In 1979, it was time for a new temple to be built. Cornerstones have significant meaning to a Mason, foundational to large buildings like a courthouse, and instrumental to our core values. On October 20th, 1916, this became very apparent as we laid the cornerstone to the famous Prescott Courthouse. Deputy Grand Marshal Morris Goldwater christened the courthouse cornerstone with corn, oil, and wine after virtually every official and merchant in town enclosed documents in a sealed box placed in the cornerstone and lowered it into place. After much Masonic fanfare and benediction, those gathered sang America, led by a local children's choir. A grand banquet was served after the laying of the cornerstone, and Brother Masons marched in body to the temple. We have a long history with the courthouse complex. Masons even planted the statehood tree on the courthouse grounds that still grows there today. That tree is now over 100 years old and still growing, just like our lodge. In 1979, it was time to lay another cornerstone on Willow Creek Road. The Cortez Temple was increasingly difficult to use without parking, elevators, and continual upkeep. It was time for a move. The lodge sold the Cortez building and bought a large, undeveloped plot of land that stretched from Iron Springs Road past the Safeway and Cow Ranch and back to the corner of the lodge. It was rightly named Masonic Square, and building began. Pieces of the land were sold to help finance our construction. The real work was done by our members. A special thanks still goes out to the Order of the Eastern Star for their dedication and raising funds. Others donated directly to construction funds. Prominent Masons donated architect plans to temples they would never set foot in. Brothers in the contract trades substantially subsidized their costs to stretch our funds and complete the new temple. The original plans called for just 2 floors, with an exact replica of the Cortez Temple inside. Spearheaded by Brother Dice, with generosity and brotherly love of the lodge, the plans were altered, and a 3rd floor was added to be used for youth groups. The mid-20th century was a time of growth and change. At the celebration of our 100th anniversary in 1966, there were 60 Masonic lodges in Arizona, with a total membership of 300 in the Aztlan Lodge alone. This is the era of Barry Goldwater, Bill Fain, and the brethren that would ensure Masonic success. Because of their dedication, helping other lodges to now launch and increase membership, we were able to celebrate the Scottish Rites Body, the Shrine, Knights Templar, Order of the Eastern Star, and more. Even the kids de Malay grew at this time, like the 300-mile run led by the Fain boys from Prescott to Palm Springs, raising money for Masonic charities. We are young in Masonic terms, but it's been an exciting first 150 years. Our values still stand, and we're making a difference not only in the lives of servant Masons, but in the families, daughters, and sons that follow us. What's ahead, we may not know. More cornerstones to be laid, a new lodge or two that keeps our cause growing, is a definite possibility. Our future is bright as the men who serve as a shining light for our community to see. Brotherhood. From the very beginning, this thread has been woven through the very fabric of the lodges we build. Fellow Masons have a feeling of friendship, support, and understanding. We have deeper roots than regular men. At the lodge, we are on the same level, with similar values and searching for deeper meaning in life. True brothers by other mothers, helping each other become better than they could possibly become alone. Brothers.